Just got done voting. Woo woot. The fact that there's even a woman on the ballot is blowing my mind right now. I have a few minutes to kill here while I wait for my son to get out of high school. And I've had a lot of questions on my former tradwife videos about how quickly I ended up with nothing after my marriage ended. The answer to that question is immediately, overnight, just like that. I went from living in a luxury condo with nice vehicles and six-figure income through my husband. Obviously, I didn't have a job, to losing absolutely everything. If you're new here, my marriage to my Mormon returned missionary husband of 24 years ended very abruptly the night that I caught him picking up a 19-year-old escort. About 3 years prior to that night, I had found out that he had had a double life throughout most of our marriage. We worked through that. We had just reconciled. I thought that the past was behind us. And let me just add here that I truly believe once a cheater, always a cheater. And that absolutely proved to be the case for us. So boom, my marriage ended like that. The next day after work, my husband came back to our condo and we just kind of discussed. I was like, I have to file for divorce. This is the end. That conversation would turn violent. And before the police came to rescue me, he would tell me that he was going to take everything, that he was going to clean out the accounts, and that I would never see a penny from him. So late that night after the police left and after they had removed him from the property, and I found myself just in absolute shock, standing there in my master bedroom all alone, realizing that 24 years of marriage had just ended and I did not have a job. I did not have any means of providing for myself, and I didn't own anything. I didn't have anything. So I decided to go to the bank and withdraw some money just in case he took everything. But I had never been on our bank accounts and I had never used an ATM in my entire life. Yes, this was the year 2018 and I didn't know how to use an ATM. So I get to the bank, I try to figure it out. It's not working. I knew that I could withdraw cash at a grocery store. So I drove to a Fry's grocery store. It was late at night. By this time I was bawling my eyes out, panicking. Honestly, I was in shock. And I go up to like one of the cash registers and I ask the checker, I said, how much money can I take out at a time if I buy something? And she told me you can withdraw $100 for every purchase up to 10 purchases. So that would be $1,000 total. So again, like bawling my eyes out, shaking, like sobbing out loud with this checker lady, just like, what is happening here? I grabbed 10 packs of gum and I said, will you please scan these individually so that I can withdraw $100 at a time? And I took out $1,000 cash. While she was scanning my stuff, this very kind woman was like, are you okay? And I told her my marriage literally just ended. It just ended right now, and I'm afraid that he's going to take everything. That $1,000 would be the only money that I would have for months to come. I was in such a total state of shock that I don't even remember like how I got home or anything, but eventually I got home and I went to bed and I didn't get out of bed for the next 3 days. And when I finally had a friend come drag me out of bed, force me to take a shower and say, you should probably do some grocery shopping, I went to Trader Joe's, scanned my debit card, and the hundreds of thousands of dollars that should have been in my bank account were not there. It was declined. I called a family member and asked if they could Apple Pay me some money so that I could buy the groceries. I bought the groceries, drove straight to the American First Credit Union and said my card was just declined. And they said, your account has been closed down. All of the funds have been withdrawn. I had only been on that bank account for 6 weeks. For 6 weeks, and I'll do that in a separate video. I'll link that in the description. From the day my marriage ended until the first time that I ever had any type of emergency support was 10 total months. After my divorce finalized, a year after the marriage ended, my ex-husband would only pay alimony one time, only one full month. Did he ever pay the full alimony amount? That was it. We didn't own our home. We didn't own our vehicles. He had been planning ahead for this divorce and left me with nothing. So when our divorce finalized, we didn't have a house to divide. We didn't have vehicles that we can sell. I got some Rubbermaid boxes full of camping equipment, a couple of IKEA beds, some clothes, an area rug, a KitchenAid. The $6,000 divorce settlement that I got wasn't enough to pay my attorneys. After 24 years of marriage, I got nothing. I still haven't financially recovered at all to this day, 5 years after the finalization of the divorce, 6 years after the end of the marriage. Right now, today, in the year 2024, I'm still paying off a credit card, the first credit card that I had ever had since I was a 19-year-old girl, that I put motel rooms, a VRBO, food, socks, prescriptions for my son during my divorce. And I honestly don't see a time where I will ever be able to pay off the debt that I accrued during that first couple of years of my divorce when I was homeless. I don't do these videos for sympathy. I don't do these videos for shock value or to scare you from being in a relationship. But here's what I hope you'll get out of my story. A man is not a plan. You need to have an education, a job, money that cannot be taken away from you. The day that my marriage ended, my husband and I went out on a date together. He told me I was the most beautiful thing in the world. He loved me with all of his heart. We had the best day together. The day that our marriage ended, by midnight that night, I would find him chatting with a 19-year-old escort. Our marriage would end. I went from the love of his life to his enemy and an ex-wife that he was not going to support, wasn't going to support his kids overnight. And so can you.